Alright, here we are for round number 5, playing for glory, for pride. We are finally on the play this round, and we have an interesting hand, but I think it's a pretty easy keep. Land situation's not the greatest, but it never is with this deck. So unfortunately, here's one of those hands I was talking about. It's actually one of those hands I was talking about, is that I don't have any white mana till turn 3. In fact, I don't have any colored mana until turn 3 with this hand. And this is not an uncommon occurrence with this deck to have this. Or a lot of times you'll have like a Colony Garden, and you'll have a Karoo land, and you'll pick up your Colony Garden, and suddenly you still don't have any mana. So remember the trick with Ash Barrens: float the mana, pick it up. We're gonna cycle this for another Plains. I don't need the red mana right now, and I've got a lot of white spells. So if this is Delver, I really want to try to stick to Spider Silk Armor. If it's blue-black again, I don't know how we're supposed to win post-board games, but we'll try. Okay. So Evolving Wilds means it's probably blue-red Delver, but this is a regular island, not a snow-covered island, so maybe it is blue-black. I'm going to go ahead and play a Soul's Attendant and a Bodyguard. Actually, I'm going to play... Yeah, I'm going to play the Attendant and the Bodyguard, because I want to play the Midnight Guard next turn and have the Bodyguard to protect it. It's possible I should just commune here. I'm going to go ahead and do this, though. So I don't think anyone's going to have like Shrivel's main deck, so I don't think I really need to play around that by like playing this Spider Silk Armor or anything. What color our opponent gets? I mean, it could be green, like they could be getting a... My guess is it's red. It's almost always red, but it could be green and it could be like a Turbo Fog deck. Or it could be black. Okay, another blue means probably Kiln Fiend, is my guess, that we're playing against an Izzet Fiend deck. Brainstorm makes me really think that it's an Izzet Fiend deck. The only other option I can think of is the blue-red Delver, like the Angler list. The Dangler list, Delver Angler. So it could be that. We'll see. Not a big fan of fetching and then casting Brainstorm. That's kind of the opposite order of what you want to do that, but if your opponent has all good cards, I guess maybe that is what they want to do. Kind of taking a long time. I don't know if they're going to get a shuffle effect to get rid of one card. It doesn't really matter the order you put them in except for the one card that you put on. That's not going to be in your hand after you draw, because our opponent's about to draw for their turn. Alright, let's see what Chalice of Devoid has going on this turn. The problem with Bodyguard is I can't have 6 ever. If he tries to kill my Attendant, I might want to save it. Even though I really don't want to, I don't think. I don't see why I would want to save it. Like, this Benevolent Bodyguard's more important. Okay, looks like it is the Dangler list. Means armor is okay for the Delver part, but it's really bad against the Angler part. One was all the counterspell, I guess. Problem is I can't just not cast stuff into their counterspell because this deck runs a lot of like you could have a bunch of Thought Scours and Mental Notes and stuff, and I don't want to give them value off of that. So luckily our Soul Warden is a different, it's not a Soul's Attendant, so I don't have to play into Echoing Decay. Not that I really would be, because I have the Benevolent Bodyguard, but it's something to think about. Okay, that's getting countered, that's an interesting choice. I guess I'll commune here. Got a Presence of Gone, and we struck gold, put a Sen's Enlistment and a Prismatic Strands into the graveyard. So that's why Commune is good in the deck, but it's also very slow. Like, I just spent 2 mana, didn't advance the board at all, didn't interact with my opponent's creatures in any way, didn't do anything like that at all. See what our opponent's got going on now. This deck should be pretty good against us simply because they are they're able to play like 5/5s for 1 mana and still hold up counterspells, so they're going to be able to hold up defense for my Midnight Guard basically all the time. I can protect it from removal with my Bodyguard, but I can't protect it from a counterspell. Yeah, so this is why I wanted to force him to actually cast his counterspell last turn, because if you just let him do nothing, then they get to play Thought Scour and stuff. They're playing some Delve spell because it's having them pay costs. This is the problem. They now have a 5/5 and they got to hold up their mana. So we will never get a chance to resolve this Midnight Guard probably. What am I going to do here? I think I'm just going to cast Ascend's Enlistment from my hand. Seems pretty decent. I'm not going to just run a Midnight Guard out into this stuff, so I'm going to leave the planes in my hand, I think. Yeah, let's do that. Play you from hand. See if he counters this. Nope. Doesn't care. Okay. So our opponent is probably a little bit away from being able to cast another Grimag Angler, but they could cast another one this turn for 1 mana if they have like a Thought Scour or 2 at the end of turn. Okay, got the old Thought Scour. They milled the Think Twice, so keep that in mind. They got some value in their graveyard. Normally they play Accumulated Knowledge in this deck, I think, but I guess not. They probably drew this Brainstorm off of their Mental Note, otherwise this is another error in sequencing with Brainstorm almost for sure. You should normally Brainstorm, put 2 things on top, then Mental Note to discard to mill the 2 cards you don't want. So Brainstorm is very good in this deck, and our opponent hasn't really gotten good value off of it at all yet. Because they have some shuffle effects, but they also have, they've got 4 Mental Note and 4 Thought Scour to get rid of the cards that you put back. Alright, Delver's not an issue. We can take care of Delver. I can play the Spider Silk and hopefully bait out that counterspell I'm pretty sure he has. He's got next. He's trying to pay cost, which means it's another Delve spell. Has to tap out for Angler. But it's probably a Scavenger. Keeping Think Twice in the graveyard would be my guess. Nope, another Angler. Okay. So we do get to resolve this Midnight Guard, which is nice. The opponent used 2 counterspells or just the 1? How many have we gotten through so far? Just the 1 it looks like. I'm going to take 5. Yep. See what we draw here. I don't think I'm going to get punished for not playing this Plains. Nope. Let's go ahead and play the Soul Warden. And a Midnight Guard. So we should be able to protect this Midnight Guard, I think. Unless our opponent has 2 removal spells. Still holding the plains for the Sun's Enlistment just in case. Let's see if they remembered to put stuff on top so that they would flip, and they did. So they got to control that draw there with the Brainstorm that they cast on the end of their turn 2 turns ago. Or on the end of my turn. Upkeep Think Twice, not a good play. You should wait until you draw your card. Naturally, like almost for sure. I would think that they'd rather use Mental Note than Think Twice to draw a card. Now they're really short on. They're really short on blue mana. So we couldn't protect the Midnight Guard, but we couldn't protect the Presence of Gond on the stack. But it's looking like we're going to be able to do that too. I am going to make sure I play around Daze, and I might play around Double Daze just because we're going to win the game. I'm happy to take all of this. Possible I'll just probably chump one of these with a Kithkin if they attack with all of it. Okay. That's not a big deal at all. Remember, I still have this Prismatic Strands in the graveyard too, in case he's got like Evankar's Justice or something weird, which you shouldn't have in your Delver deck, but you never know what people are going to do. Alright, I'm going to play out the plains, and my presents have gone, so let's toss that down on the Midnight Guard. You can't have anything here for 1 mana, unless he has a Snuff Out and another Snuff Out. He's got to have 2 Snuff Outs. Alright, that didn't work. Well, a Snuff Out and a Tragic Slip would have done it too. Let's go ahead and do this. This is going to take a while. Alright, always yield to that. Move this a little closer to him so I can do it a little faster. People never really, like, this isn't modern, no one ever concedes to you in Pauper. So I don't expect our opponent to concede to us here, even though I don't conceive of a way they could get out of this with our Benevolent Bodyguard in play, unless they have like a Disfigure right now for it. Also, hopefully our opponent will start to auto yield to our stuff. Okay, looks like they did that. So now I can go fast. I gotta move this somewhere else. Unfortunately, there's like just a couple instances of lag each time I do anything. I don't think I'm actually lagging in the program, it's just like this is how MTGO is. It takes a second for it to realize that I've clicked. I'm gonna go ahead and make, well, I'm gonna make at least 30 of these. Probably gonna make 30. Don't really need to make 30. I'll make 25 tokens. I wanna make sure my tokens alone are lethal. So need to have enough to get through their guys. Alright, we're comboing out. We're having a good time. Gaining life, making tokens. Here, let's see if I can stack abilities automatically. No. Yeah, like I said, it only does it if they're identical, I think. So we're stuck doing this. Alright. That's probably enough. Only made 24, not as many as I said I would, but I think it'll be enough for us to win. Dude, our opponent's master plan is here to get out of this one. They try to kill our Elf Warriors with an Echoing Decay. I'm gonna let them, because that's not important to me. Yep. Guess what? I'd take it all. I'd take 13, no problemo. That's a lot of damage. We deal a lot of damage here. So I'm going to attack with everything except my Midnight Guard. And leave that back. Looks like we did it. Hooray! Alright, so we got game 1. Let's go ahead and put that on the game record. Game 1. 1-0. Alright, sideboard. Just like last time, we don't have a lot. They do have more flyers than... They do have some Delvers. They don't have any fairies or anything. Aerial Volley is okay. This is much better if it's like hitting a Spell Starter Sprite and a Fairy Miscreant at the same time, or like hitting a Delver and a Fairy. This is probably what matchup the Journeys are for. Which I don't know if we really need cards specifically dedicated to the Angler decks, because there aren't very many, but I'm going to take these Prismatic Strands out. They still don't usually play, even this deck doesn't really play Evankar's Justice. I don't really need these for anything. They're like a fog, I guess. They're an okay fog. Let's leave one in. Just the Miser one. What am I going to take out though? I don't really need all these like life gain creatures, and I'm going to take out an even number of both. I'll take out one Rally, I think. Rally might be pretty good. You guys have to let me know in the comments what you think about sideboarding here. I want to keep the bodyguards so I can protect my combo a little better. I don't really need the life gain, but I do need some white creatures for the battle screeches. We need some sort of efficient stuff to do early in the game. Rally is a good way to punk them out, but no, I don't want to be so dependent on, like, I don't want to get blown out by Echoing Decay too much with these. So this is almost certainly not right to have one of each of these, but I'm gonna go ahead and do that. Like, it's almost certain that one of them is better than the other. It's possible I should have neither of them and just like use my other stuff. This is an interesting start here. Definitely gonna keep it. Question is, what do I start with for mana, like my lands? I can try to, like, if I play the Blossoming Sands, I can commune on 2 and try to hit turn 3 Midnight Guard, but I don't think I want to do that. When I kept a no land hand, okay, they didn't. They just passed through their first main phase. Gonna go ahead and lead off with a Soul's Attendant. See what they have. They have a Brainstorm. Nope, Mental Note. Grim Harvest. Card's not very good against us at all. Do you think I'm gonna kill his creatures or what? It's still pretty decent to draw this card because he's gonna put a lot of creatures himself into the graveyard, but we're not gonna be killing them, so he's not gonna get the grindy, like, recover value that you would maybe normally get. Okay, I'm gonna play the Bodyguard, and then I'm gonna play the Blossoming Sands. Alright, always yes, always yield. So, this is a little risky, because I can get hit by Shrivel here. But, again, I don't have Spider Silk yet, so it's pretty tough for me to play around Shrivel anyways. And it's just a 2-for-1, which obviously isn't great, but better than getting hit by like a 10-for-1. That's what happens a lot of times with Shrivel against this deck. Just kills all our creatures. Commune, we're hoping for Midnight Guard. We're hoping for Spider Silk Armor. Any of those would be pretty decent. Alright, what's our opponent got going on? A Disfigure, huh? Interesting they'd target that. So when your opponent is a protection creature like this, you should always target this. Because I know which one I want more, and you don't, and I get to choose. If you target my Soul's Attendant, I can give it protection if I think the Soul's Attendant is more important, or I can save this. Alright, we're flooded on communes. Okay, I'll take the Midnight Guard. Go ahead and play... I'm going to play this Holdout Settlement in case I end up not being able to play out all my lands, because I did mill Sen's Enlistment there, which is a nice hit. Which means I can turn one of these into anything I want. I think I'm going to go get the mountain with this, end of turn. And then we'll see what I want to do. I could Sen's Enlistment, I could play Midnight Guard and stuff. I think I'm going to commune just so I can try to find a Journey to Nowhere to run into the counter magic Buzzsaw. Alright. He exiles Grim Harvest. Our opponent knows that it doesn't matter, but that's still probably not what you should do. This is almost certainly a mistake unless he's playing Archaeomancer, and this deck normally doesn't play Archaeomancer because you want to exile your graveyard. Alright, I guess I milled the mountain, so it's a good thing I still have this Holdout Settlement. I guess I'll grab the forest. So I think I'm going to double commune here because our opponent's holding up counter mana. Let's go ahead and commune. Alright, Journey to Nowhere. Let's grab that. I'm going to go ahead and commune again though, instead of casting the Journey. Okay. Decent hits there. We got the two battle screeches, which is really nice. Let's see what our opponent has here. Probably some card draw spells. Okay, I think twice. The next turn I can cast Midnight Guard and Journey. Opponent stopped in their upkeep again. So the reason that a lot of times this deck doesn't really want to play Think Twice is they normally want to get to 5 mana and then like not draw any more lands at all. So a lot of times they don't really want to do that. Alright, let's go ahead and play this Midnight Guard. I expect this to get countered, but then we can hopefully Journey this Angler. If they don't counter this, they don't counter it. I have to decide if I'm willing to play the Journey or not. I think the answer is no. I have a ton of lands and they've missed some lands. Well, then they'll be able to flashback Think Twice if I don't try to Journey it. So that is an issue. That's a tough call. But I think I do want to force him to cast his counterspell. Plus, this way, if I draw my Presence of Gund, then I'll be able to combo off without worrying about the counterspell. Yep. So that's okay, because next turn I'll be able to play this Midnight Guard, hopefully resolve it, and then I'll have a couple Battle Screeches to flash back. Okay, Sultai Scavenger. Our opponent does not have Counterspell up anymore. And they exiled the Think Twice instead of cracking this fetch land to exile that. So, ooh, we are very lucky. So lucky. Let's go ahead and I'm going to play this Midnight Guard first, I think. Yeah, so I'm going to play the Ash Barrens, play the Midnight Guard. Okay. Then I'm going to flash back the Battle Screech. This might draw a negate from them if they have it. Okay. And then let's go ahead and play our Presence. Let's see if they were really disciplined and held up negate that whole time. Could get got by Daze here, that would be really annoying. Doomblade, that's not going to work. They have a Snuff Out. Says they're trying to pay costs. What are they trying to pay? Okay. Black. Snuff Out would have been sweet there. That would have been cool. I'm going to go ahead and make infinite of these quick. I'm going to make like 40 or 50 probably. This means they need to have a... it's a lot faster when you don't have any... Okay, they give up. So they must not have had like a removal or echoing decay in their hand, because they could have drawn the other one if they had it. We did it! We went 2 and 3, which is not great. So... you kind of get to see what the deck likes to do. It's a pretty interesting deck, and it's really fun to play because like it's got really cool cards in it that no one expects, like Prismatic Strands, and like Prismatic Strands just gets people out of nowhere. They think, oh, I'll just counter a fog or whatever, and it's like, oh nope, it's got two fogs. You got to counter 2. So that's a cool aspect of the deck. I don't know, I think we got a little unlucky in some of those games, and we're just a little too slow against Affinity. Affinity kind of had a crazy draw against us, and then I think that first match we should have been able to win. I think that's a favorable matchup at the very least. And I think I messed up that first game in that match, plus just got a little too greedy. got too greedy and like wanted to have too much protection up, and I shouldn't have done that. So that's my mistake. I think we should have definitely gone 3 and 2 this round. I think we kind of got beat down pretty hard by that flicker deck, so I don't think we were going to win that one, probably. So that's a kind of deck that's probably pretty strong against us. They have a lot of answers to our combo. Plus, they just have a lot of really powerful cards. Obviously, we can outvalue them. Like if the game goes really long, we can Sens Enlist them and just grind them out because they might run out of stuff. But the problem is, like, if they draw 2 Mull Drifters, suddenly it doesn't really matter that they have some dead lands in their hand. They've got a lot more cards than us. So that's it for this week. Again, a reminder, I don't have a poll for this week because I have a couple cool decks that I want to try out for this. They're all bruised, well, they're kind of bruised, so I expect they would have been exactly what you guys voted for anyway if I put them on there, because my viewership tends to not really want to watch any of the top tier decks, which is fine, but I am still going to play some of those because they're really important to the actual metagame. Like, this deck is not important to the metagame. As sweet as it is, I've never played it. Like, I maybe played against this deck one time ever in like 100 leagues. You know, like you could easily play 500 matches and never play against this deck. So it's not that important that you know about it, but it is cool, and it's important to know about it in the sense that you could play this deck, and it's pretty awesome. Like, you could also make the mana a lot better if you were willing to cut the power of Rally the Peasants. If you cut the, like, my old token deck, I might still have it in here. See if I might have deleted it when I played this deck because this one's a little better. Yeah, it looks like I deleted it, but some of the more classic Midnight Gauntlets don't run Rally the Peasants, and they run Sprout Swarm and stuff, and they're more typical token decks. So there's a lot of variations on this, and you could tinker with this yourself if you wanted. Other than that, just a reminder, go down to the bottom in the description, shoot me a subscription if you want to see more stuff like this. Follow me on Twitter if you want to hear all the times that I put stuff up. I'm going to try streaming hopefully once a week, as well as putting out a video once a week. I'm going to see if I can handle doing both of them every week. I've been able to do it so far, but I'm probably going to be getting a little busier coming up soon, so might just be one or the other. I'm going to make sure I do a video, prioritize videos over streams, so videos for sure. And then give me any feedback you guys want to give me. That'd be awesome. And with that, I'll see you guys next week.